What's good with y'all, boys? Welcome back to the episode of Random Everything Sports Podcast. Today I'm here to break down my top 10 NFL teams going into Week 11. So, to start at my number 10 spot, about the Jacksonville Jaguars. This team had a very disappointing performance against a good San Francisco team, but they were at home and they were both coming off a bye, so there's really no excuses. But I do think that 49ers team is the better team, but to get handled like that at home is definitely a big blemish on the resume. They have 6 multi-turnover games that leads the NFL, but the good news for them is their defense is top 5 in takeaways as well. Um, Trevor Lawrence has really got to start to play better, and I think he will. The good news for them is last year, Week 10 was their turnaround week, and I think they have a good chance to do that again because they're playing the Titans. So I think that they'll get this thing back moving. They were on a 5-game winning streak, which was the longest in the NFL. So I think they could definitely do that again and get back rolling, considering that they do have the Titans next, and they are still first in the AFC South. So they still have a lot of talent. But I need to see them beat really good teams and continue to play well and just be consistent. And I really need to see Trevor Lawrence get back to being that quarterback who we thought he could be. For my number 9 spot, I've got the Houston Texans. This Houston Texans team is about to arrive. Maybe not this year, but they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. C.J. Stroud, the rookie quarterback, is a top 10 quarterback, and that's undeniable at this point. They have pretty good talent, too, with Tank Dell, the rookie out of Houston, Noah Brown, the free agent from the Cowboys, Schultz, also the free agent from the Cowboys, and Devin Singletary, who made his first appearance with 150 rushing yards, 5 catches, and a touchdown. So they have pretty good talent on the offensive side of the ball, and all of their pieces are clicking. I love their rookie head coach. I love what he's doing too. First year out of San Francisco, gotta love that. They have pretty good wins against the Jags, Bengals, and Steelers. But the big thing for me is I need them to be more consistent, considering that they do have losses against the Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Those 2 losses are unacceptable. So I want to see them be more consistent. They have a next game against Arizona. Now, Arizona does have Kyler Murray back, but I think that Houston is the better team, and I want to see them go into Arizona and handle business. For my number 8 team, I have the Cleveland Browns. Now, the first note I had was Deshaun Watson looked much better in the second half because he was 14 for 14, but that doesn't matter anymore because he is out for the season. Now, the reason why I don't have them out of my top 10, or I didn't move them from where I originally had them when I made these notes, is because they've been dealing with bad quarterback play this whole season. Their 3 quarterbacks have a combined resume of a 66 QBR, or passing rating, and an 8 to 12 T to INT ratio. So this team has been carried by the defense all year long, and I don't expect anything to change. Myles Garrett has probably been the MVP of the league, for sure the defensive player of the year, no doubt about that. So I expect them to continue to be carried by their defense. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is starting this week, so he did show flashes in the preseason, and we knew he did at UCLA, so I expect him to be much better when he got thrown to the fire against the Ravens. So I think that this team will continue to get carried by his defense and will continue to be a playoff contender. So I like them at 8. For my number 7 spot, I got the Detroit Lions. I really like this Lions team. They have so much talent. I mean, their roster is filled with talent. St. Brown, the rookie Laporta, the rookie Gibbs, and Montgomery's back off that hip injury. So I love that they've got their guys back, and they have a super capable quarterback and Jared Goff as well. Dan Campbell has really rallied the troops, and his team is a force to be reckoned with. Now, I do kind of worry about them because they really haven't beat great teams. I understand they did have that Week 1 win against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs were down Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. Now, they did win a shootout at the Chargers this past Sunday. That really impressed me. So I like what this team is doing. Their next game is against the Bears, so that'll be another win. They probably have the easiest remaining schedule out of anybody in the league. So they may just luck up that 1 seed in the whole NFC, and they'll definitely be the 1 seed in the NFC North. So I love the Detroit Lions at number 7. My number 16 is the Baltimore Ravens. This team is still very good, no doubt about that. They lost to a pretty good Browns team with a great defense, and they were up in that game. But they've been up in a lot of games. They're one of the few teams that have trailed by double-digit points in all their games so far. But those teams are all undefeated. But the Ravens are only 7-3. So that is a little bit of a concern for me. And also, I'm not sure how this team can contend in the playoffs and when the things really matter, because they've yet to prove that, and Lamar Jackson has yet to prove that. But Lamar's having a great year, no doubt about that. He's doing it with his legs and his arm Odell is coming off his best game as a Raven with 2 straight touchdowns. So I love that. He's showing flashes as well. So I expect for him to keep doing good and keep making big plays in the future. No doubt about that. But the big thing for me is I'm not sure if this team translates to the postseason and can they go in different environments and win because they've yet to prove that. So from now, I'm going to keep the Ravens at number 6, but I do like them there. For my number 5 team, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. This Bengals team is good. I understand they lost to a frisky Texas team, but this Texas team is also pretty good. So I expect Joe Burrow to keep playing well. I mean, he's a freak. He did have 2 pretty bad interceptions, but if Tyler Boyd catches that ball, who knows? We could be having a completely different conversation at this time and age. So we don't know about that. But they're going to be without Hendricks or Higgins and maybe Hendrickson in this game against Baltimore. But I still think they'll win this game as long as everybody stays healthy and things don't go off the rail. But like I said, they have a big game coming up against Baltimore that I think they will win, and they are in must-win mode right now. There's no doubt about that. If they lose, they're probably out. If they lose, they're probably going to have to go 6-1 after this Thursday night game against the Ravens. But I think they'll be able to do that, and I really do still like this Bengals team. At my number 4 spot, I've got the San Francisco 49ers. This team, we all know with the All-Stars, we know what they can do. Brock Purdy with his All-Stars playing with the lead, they dominate. There's no doubt about that. Like I said, whenever they're healthy, we know what they do. They're a force to be reckoned with week in and week out. They play so physical. They play so tough. But my biggest concern for them is, of course, the quarterback position. I don't think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. I think he's a system quarterback who can only win in certain situations and scenarios. And when the pressure's on him, he crumbles, as we saw in their 3-game losing streak. But another question for me is, can this team stay healthy? We know with this style of offense that Kyle Shanahan has played, this team has been known for getting banged up. Debo, we know Chris McCaffrey is banged up a lot. Trent Williams going off an injury as well. So, can this team stay healthy? Can this team continue to win the only way they can, which is get a lead and sustain it and build on it? For my number 3 spot, I've got the Dallas Cowboys. This Cowboys team is really playing the best football probably out of anybody. Dak Prescott is playing the best football of his career, and CeeDee Lamb is playing the best football of his career as well. Coming off that loss against the Eagles, still throwing for 300 yards. CeeDee is 3rd straight game with over 100 yards receiving and a goal touchdown to go along with that. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. Their defense is still playing very well, and they have a chance to keep being consistent, playing a pretty bad Panthers team this week that I do have them minus 10. So I expect them to keep playing well, to keep beating up on these bad teams. They play the Panthers, and then after this, they play the Commanders. So I expect them to keep getting back on that one side, keep building. I think the Eagles may fall to the Chiefs this week, so that only help them in that NFC East race. But I love what I'm seeing from the Cowboys, and I really love what I'm seeing from Dak as well. If Dak continues to like this, they're probably the best team in the entire league, no doubt about that. So I love what I'm seeing from the Cowboys. I can't move them up too much because they haven't really beat anybody yet. But if they keep playing well, and especially well against good teams, they'll only move up. And if Dak keeps playing well, they're the best team in the league, no doubt about that. Now this is where it gets interesting. For my number 2 spot, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. This Eagles team is a really good team all around, no doubt about that. Jalen Hurts is playing well, coming off that bye week to get healthier, to get Julio Jones more depth. Goddard gets another week, although he won't play in this game. He still gets another week to come back from that injury. And we know we have an A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They have a great O-line and D-line, but they can't get got in that secondary. And that's why I have the Chiefs beat them Monday night, because they can get got in the secondary, like I just said. Whenever teams can block that defensive front, they can get abused and exposed in that secondary, which is why I can't put them as number 1 team. But they continue to find ways to win. I mean, they are 8-1. They do just continue to beat good teams and beat bad teams. No matter how they get it done, they do get it done. So you can't fault them for that. Now for my number 1 team, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they'll prove that Monday night against the good Eagles team. But this team has a top 3 defense in the league, maybe the best, maybe behind the Browns, but for sure a top 3 defense in the league. And I think if the biggest question is Mahomes and Andy Reid in that offense, I think the Chiefs have nothing to be worried about. I think that they'll get back on track coming off this bye. You know what Andy Reid does after buys? I think he's 28-4 after buys. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So we know what he does coming at a bye weeks. So I expect him to keep balling and stay on track. And this team, to get that chemistry back with the wide receivers. So that is my top 10 NFL teams. Subject to change, of course, but I appreciate y'all watching. And as always, tune in next time.